Hi, my name is MarkRichards. I'm the author of the Software Architecture Fundamentals video series from O'Reilly, along with Neil Ford, and also the author of several other O'Reilly videos and books, including topics in messaging, microservices, and software architecture patterns. The job of software architect is rated by CNN as one of the top jobs in America, yet no clear path exists from that transition from developer to architect. And that's exactly what this 3-day hands-on software architecture workshop is all about. I will start the course with a discussion about what I like to call architectural thinking. And that's really the expectations of an architect and where that line really draws between architecture and design. I'll then move on to the first real stage of architecture, which is defining architecture characteristics in terms of some of those ilities and such that we need to extract. From there, the natural progression is to look at architecture patterns, and we'll spend quite a bit of time in the course on various architecture patterns, all the way from microservices through the layered architecture, down through microkernel, and finally space-based architecture. After this, the natural progression is to look at the third step of architecture, which is really what I like to call component-based thinking, where we'll look at component identification, granularity, coupling, and cohesion of components. Once we do this, we'll then take a look at integration architecture and some of the integration styles within integration architecture, as well as a fairly detailed discussion of the use of integration hubs and systems integration as a whole. At that point in the course, I'll do a transition over to some of the soft skills of architecture, and first of those is really how to make architecture decisions, justify those, communicate, and document those decisions to your teams. After that, we'll look at some techniques for refactoring, something that an architect regularly does. And in this area, we'll take a look at some of the aspects of refactoring your architecture, specifically from a monolith, maybe to microservices, or any of the other architecture patterns. We'll then move on to another soft skill, which is defining those boundaries in which a development team can work in. And in this section, we'll also explore how to maintain hands-on coding while still being an architect. After this, we'll look at a couple of other soft skills. The first of those is negotiation, and then, of course, leadership, something an architect absolutely has to have. I'll close the course by actually talking about the development of a career path. In other words, how to get to that transition to an architect and define a kind of a career path to get there. Now, throughout the entire course, we'll be doing a lot of hands-on work with architecture katas. These are small exercises within architecture where we'll break into teams and actually work on these so that you can actually practice the stuff that we're learning in this class. Thank you, and we'll see you in the course.